Hello, Player3 here, returning to 1991 for the second time this year. This time, it's Duel Master. Duel Master was released on the Sega Genesis on April 29, 1991, and to its non-American counterpart, the Mega Drive, a day later. But Duel Master wasn't always going to be on this Sega system. It wasn't even going to be called Duel Master. A year earlier, in the May issue of the Japanese PC magazine OX, it reads that a new company, Amusement, is set to be releasing their game Blade of the Great Elements soon. Also, in May 1990, Japanese PC magazine Technopolis had a more in-depth advert for this game. Blade of the Great Elements, soon to be released on the X68000, a Japanese exclusive PC created by Japanese electronics company Sharp. This game, as you can already guess, was what would become Duel Master, but for whatever reason the game's name, platform, and developer were changed. The closest I could find out why was that an interview with the game's developer, Motoaki Takenouchi, said, at the beginning, the game was being developed for the PC system from Sharp, the X68000, and the title was different as well. Through a convoluted series of events, it ended up being released on the Mega Drive. Was this new company, Amusement, not able to get their foot off the ground and sold the IP to Sega? Or was the game just scrapped for whatever reason and picked up by Sega? Maybe you have a better theory or someone out there knows the real answer. If so, I'd love to know it. Continuing with Motoaki Takenouchi, this game was his first solo project, the second video game he'd ever been a part of, having previously worked on Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai, arranging music for the late longtime composer of the Dragon Quest franchise, Koichi Sugiyama. Takenouchi acquired the opportunity to work on Duel Master through Sugiyama's introduction. Through the chaos, which was those convoluted events he mentioned, however, he regrets not having been able to hear the playback during Duel Master's development and correct any platform crossover issues. Regardless, I think the music sounds terrific, but I'll get more into that later. It's time now to enter the world of Mythgard. The story goes as follows. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom known to all as Mythgard. Mythgard prospered in peace until the arrival of the Demon King, Jardine the Mad. Leading his Dark Legion, Jardine was but a step away from obliterating the kingdom. It was then that the 12 Masters of the Elements rose up and put an end to the Demon King's evil designs. A fierce battle ensued until there were but 4 Masters opposing Jardine. Pulling their powers into a holy blade, the 4 Masters prepared for the final battle. You alone have been entrusted with the task of fighting your way through wicked worlds filled with Jardine's slimy servants to engage in a final showdown with Jardine. To make matters worse, you can only get the necessary magic powers by finding them along the way. The 4 Masters have carelessly left magical rings for your enemies to discover, and you must get them back. The rings are set with jewels which will give you magical powers beyond your wildest dreams. As the Duel Master, you must use the awesome powers of these rings, along with your courage, to assist you in your showdown with Jardine. It is time for you to set out on your mission, and remember, you may be the 4 Masters' last chance to save Mythgard. Well, at least they say that the Masters were careless. I see how Jardine would have been able to defeat 8 of them now, for how dumb they were to leave these powerful rings out willy-nilly for anyone to take. And somehow one of me, whoever I'm supposed to be, is able to do what 4 Masters of Elements can't? That seems like a large ask. Beyond the story, the controls are simple. Move with the D-pad up and down, left and right, jumping with C, and attacks for each hand, left with A and right with B. The attacks from the rings you hold are where things get a little tricky. There are 4 different classes of rings: Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water. And of each class there are 3 ranks, 1 to 3 for the potency of those rings. The further out the ring sits in your jewel box, the higher the potency. For example, the rank 1 fire ring closest to the center shoots 1 fireball. Then rank 2 shoots 2 at once, and rank 3 shoots 3. 1 slightly upwards, 1 centered, and 1 slightly downwards. The difficulty comes when you combine rings to create an even more powerful ability. The combinations will become known just by equipping 2 different rings in your hand and seeing what your new power is called. For example, combining Earth and Fire, each potency 1 makes a firewall, but changing the Fire out with Fire 3 rings makes an even larger and stronger firewall. Sometimes the higher rank rings will change the weapon entirely, like when creating the Fire Viper. Beyond collecting the rings, you can also find fruits or potions to restore health, and finding trapped fairies in hidden spots around each of the first 4 stages. Some I found by complete accident and were hidden pretty well. Once you find one, however, your health will be fully restored and will add 1 extra unit to your life gauge. So it's pretty crucial keeping an eye out for these little guys. Further along in the manual, it gives you an idea of what to expect in each level and the enemies within. But let's go find out for ourselves. Upon opening the game, it tells us the story that was told at the start of the manual. Then in the menu, you could start it right up or go to options. Let's go there first. At the top, a difficulty option. From trying different ones, I believe the difference being how much damage each enemy does to you. That is the only change. Then if you want to change the key bindings, but there's nothing wrong with the default, having pause music on. I kept this on, but I probably should have turned it off, because every time you perform an attack or are attacked, they produce their own sound effect on top of the music playing. And if you pause during those additional sounds, that sound will loop over the course of the pause frame. But the music continues, so you might hear an ear-piercing screech for the entire time you keep the game paused. Not fun. I hope pause music off means the sound effects too. You know what? I'm gonna find out. Yeah, actually, it just goes completely silent. Then, sound test, where you can cycle through every song in the game and see the names of each. Takenouchi is a big fan of early progressive rock and jazz fusion, and those influences, citing himself, yes, King Crimson, Frank Zappa, and Emerson Lake and Palmer. You can see clearly from these song names confirming this, and hear a bit in the songs themselves. The first song listed, Close to the Edge, which is the title of a Yes song, as is The Gate of Delirium and To Be Over. None of these are confirmed to be direct references to be the songs, but it is at the very least a very large coincidence. There is also Vital Signs, the same title as a Rush song, Talk to the Wind, the same as a King Crimson song, the list goes on. Okay, the game itself, Stage 1. The first thing I notice is this fucking amazing music. I'm hyped. Next thing is this seems too easy. Okay, some of these guys get to me no matter what I do, so not too easy, but it looks amazing. I'll soon get very familiar with this first stage. So these enemies in Stage 1, trolls, kobolds, bowling fish, the ones I tend to take damage from, I could never tell how much damage they did because the life gauges would start off as green when they were full, then yellow when hit, red when critical, and gray when depleted. But sometimes when hit, it would stay green. There's no damage dealt meter, so yeah, I just don't entirely understand how it works. Maybe when some hit me and it deals no damage, it's because I'm not on hard mode. Anyways, there's the Stage 1 fairy, and the first boss, the Wicked Tiger. He was pretty easy once I found this method that worked out pretty well, running back and forth while firing. So, on to Stage 2, in the desert. The first sandworm drops the next ring you need. Now I can dual wield Wave and Fireball. And at least the quickest way through the desert without taking damage is my patent-pending alternating hands technique. It works, except when these stupid poison moths dodge everything like Neo somehow. Inside this structure now, having to completely change my ring layout because I need high jumps. Same thing with this skeleton boss, a ring set up unique to his fight. Okay, still Stage 2. Guess he wasn't the boss. Ooh, secret area with a health potion, nice. Alright, here's the real boss, and he's really tough. Hey, stop moving, get over here. Okay, I ran out of continues. Time to start over. Okay, I'm back. I just need to get him to stop moving. Okay, there. Whoa, that was close. Whew, barely any life left. Alright, now Stage 3, in the ice. What the fuck is that? The manual calls it a crystal face, and they hurt quite a bit too with these energy orbs or whatever they're shooting. Oh, there's another long stretch of no enemies. Guess a boss is coming. Oh god, he comes from the sky. This Yeti is tough. Wait, no, it's fine as long as my big fat fingers don't hit the down button and I crouch. In this ice cave now, still part of Stage 3, I feel like each stage is getting a little bit longer, but maybe not. But each one so far has consisted of some sort of biome outside, then a structure relating to that biome, then either the final boss or a mini-boss first, and sometimes another outside section in which we will then get the final boss. And each enemy and boss at least somewhat relates to each biome. It's simple, but it works. The most unique part being the rings and knowing what to do with them and what works best for each enemy. And common sense like the fire rings not going to hurt the phoenix as much as water rings would. Actually, it seemed like the fire didn't do anything at all to the phoenix when I tried. Makes sense. Okay, the final boss of stage 3 is this king turtle. Not especially hard, but it takes patience. I thought I needed to wait for it to pop its head out and hit it because the impact visual effect, but maybe I was wrong. That'll make things easier anyway if that's the case. Stage 4. Oh my god, why the weird faces again? Okay, these are in the hill and this is gonna suck. I cannot shoot down. Well, back to the beginning. And back again. Stage 4 being the second to last stage, naturally the game throws a lot of tough enemies my way. For the life of me though, I can't find the final fairy. Maybe because I need to take it slower, because none of these enemies respawn once killed, but not finding that fairy sucks because I kinda need it. But after passing through countless tiny dragons and over lava and whatever these big punchy guys in gold are, till we get to the Dragon King. His attack routine is fairly easy to understand, but he still deals a lot of damage if I can't avoid all these. And naturally, I've run out of continues. Oh boy, I can't wait to start all over again. Let's try it again. Hey, the final ring. I have the sword. Wow, that is powerful. Okay, Jardine, I'm coming for you. Stage 5, the last stage, Jardine's Castle. Okay, this is very Bowser's Castle-esque. Not spinning fireballs, but these skeleton knights spinning their maces is very reminiscent of Mario. I guess these flying boxes get the fire part covered. The layout of it feels more like Castlevania than anything, though. Whoa, someone's excited. Is that Shrek's? Oh, never mind. That is apparently a Gagarages? Is that a real thing, like in mythology? Let me look it up. No, not garages. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, it's just from this game. Besides what I initially thought it looked like, it seems to be like some killer caterpillar coming out of the wall. Whatever. Oh, Jardine time? Oh, I guess not. Wow, this is a long stage, actually. Oh, no, not another one. Oh, but it's ice this time. Oh, okay. Finally, maybe. Okay, never mind. I have to fight insanely difficult statues of each element first. There he is. This is it. Oh, it's only got to be like 1 or 2 more hits, right? Yeah, he's almost there. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I got to start all the way over now. There is no mention in history of the battle waged between the Jewel Master and the forces of evil, but legends do speak of 12 magical gems and an ancient kingdom that flourished in peace. Such is the stuff of legends. Alright, that was fun. But my god, was it hard towards the end. Let's see what the critics thought. Sega Pro Magazine gives it an 88 out of 100. Jewel Master is a very entertaining package. Despite the repetitive gameplay, it does manage to continually impress with graphics and sound, making you play and play. One suggestion though, a password level select would have saved a lot of aggro. Yes, amen to that. But that's what Game Genie is for, I guess. I heavily agree with this review. What else do we have? Megatech, 55 out of 100. Ouch. A fairly standard platform game which, despite a few original features, has neither the challenge or addiction to keep you entertained for more than a few sessions. Well, I heavily disagree with that one. I don't think they played the game at all. Saying there's no challenge? Please. The addiction part? Maybe. It sucks having to constantly start over, and it can get boring through the first stages, playing them 100 times. Okay, well, for me, not rating it as highly as Sega Pro, but not anywhere near as low as Megatech. I'm giving Jewel Master an 8 out of 10, putting it as my 8th favorite game I've played so far. The difficulty towards the end definitely brought it down some. Like the review in Sega Pro said, a password level system would have made this game so much better. Regardless, 8th best is still great. I did love it. It's also currently my second favorite game of the same year, my favorite game of the same genre, and second favorite on the Genesis. the Genesis is my favorite console, so don't be surprised to see more games from me on that. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll enjoy what I have in store. If you have any game recommendations, leave them in the comments below. That's all for now. See you next time.